Hey, this is Marty from Kicking with Computer Science, and today we're going to learn about Java variables. One of the most important features of any programming language is the ability to define variables and assign and manipulate the values referenced by the variables. Variable is really just a container or a reference to a location that stores a value. There are different types of variables, and before we get started coding in repl.it, we'll just kind of cover a few of those types. So um, I'm showing you where I'm talking about. Here are where we are defining Java variables. The first variable type is int x, and int is a integer uh, type. It holds a number. The second type is Boolean. That's a true or false value stored by a Boolean variable. And the third one is a string variable with the name. String holds a sequence of characters. A couple things about variables convention-wise. First of all, typically a variable starts with a lowercase, so we have a lowercase p here in the case of print message, and obviously a lowercase x, and name is lowercase. Print message is an example of camelback notation. Camelback is where you kind of jam multiple words together and you separate them by using uppercase for the first character in each word, other than the first word, which starts with lowercase. Um, Another thing about variables is you should give them a meaningful name. Just kind of looking at what I've defined so far, you can see we have a variable called int x. Well, x isn't of all that useful or meaningful of a name. Just kind of looking at the program, which is printing out a birthday message, looks like x is actually used to hold age. You can see here x equals 19, and that's an age. So we'll just change int x to be age, which is a little bit more meaningful. And again, the purpose of source code is for humans to read the code, not computers. And so we want to give meaningful variable names. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and run the program just to see what happens. So right now it's compiling, and you can see I screwed it up because x is still a variable which is now not declared. So let's fix that really quick. I think this is going to look a little bit better and work. Okay, and so the output is happy birthday, Ethan, you're turning 19. So let's talk about what happened. The variables are defined in the top section, and then we're assigning values here. So we're assigning the value 19, which is an integer, to the variable age. So age is now a reference to a memory location storing 19. The Boolean print message is now set to a value of true, and the string name is set to Ethan. Here's an example I'm highlighting now of a use of a Boolean in an if statement. So since print message is equal to true, this if statement resolves to true, and so therefore the code within the if statement or the conditional is executed. If print message was set to false, let's try it real quick and run it. Most likely, I'm guessing we would get no output, and you can see that's what's happened. So let's change this back, this variable print message back to true. The string birthday message is another variable that's actually taking the output of this string format method. String format is a method that allows you to replace tokens. These are formatting tokens with variables. So %s is replaced with the value of name, and %s is a string formatter. %d is replaced with age. So the result of this string format method output is assigned to birthday message, and that's what's printed out. So let's go ahead and run it one more time just to see what happens. Okay, so it works. Happy birthday, Ethan, you're turning 19. So where the power of variables comes into play is it's very easy to change variable values. So let's say a year goes by and Ethan's now turning 20. So we could easily, if we wanted to print out this birthday message, we could change the value of age to 20, and then we could run it. And now he's turning 20. So that's one example of how variables, this is obviously a simple example, but you can scale this up and make things increasingly complex, and so this program could do some pretty cool things. Just to give you one example, let's say you have a bunch of family members and you want to wish them all a birthday message. So down here at the bottom, I have commented out some code. Now, commented out code using this /* and an ending comment down here, the * is not, when Java-C compiles this program, it doesn't actually compile commented out code. So let's just remove those comments. So now that this code is uncommented, when you compile and run, it'll actually execute. And we need to make one slight adjustment. Let's comment out this code as well. Another way to comment is this: if you're commenting one line, it's a //. So now we have another variable, names. This is actually an array of strings, or a list of strings. We have a for loop, which we haven't discussed, which allows us to iterate through a variable. In this case, we're iterating through the names array and printing out a birthday message for each element of the array. Let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. And you can see we've printed out a happy birthday message for every member of my family. Now, obviously, there's a shortcoming here. Not everyone in my family is turning 20, but you can easily imagine that you have another array of variables, maybe an array of ages that you could use to assign the age for each one of these names. You could also do a lot of other things, like store the names and the ages in a text file that gets written or read, or you could pull names and ages from a variety of other places. Anyway, that's a short introduction to Java variables. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.